Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
I can't tell you when's the last time I got so serious about something like this Slapshot remake discussion. And we've had some really good ones coming in here. Jeff in Winnipeg, Camilla says the Baldwin brothers for the Hansons. Wayne in Victoria agrees with my Zach Galifianakis as Denis Lemieux. Denis Lemieux, continuons sa saison. Who would be Dickie Dunn? I feel like Elliot Friedman should play Dickie Dunn. But I think that Billy Bob Thornton is a slam dunk as Reg Dunlop, because this is a very, very important role. This would be the role that might define Billy Bob Thornton's career.
It's the role.
It's the role. And I will go along with Billy Bob Thornton as Reg Dunlop. That's how big of a fan I am of his and of Reg Dunlop's, and nobody has come close to anybody else.
Somebody mentioned Steve Carell. Steve Carell maybe is Jim Carr.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
He could be Jim Carr. That works for me.
No. The guy whose idea this was in the first place, Robin Wildy, he's watching in PA. He says Liam Neeson as Joe McGrath. Liam Neeson's way too cool to play Joe McGrath. Way too cool.
Somebody mentioned...
Hey! John in Winnipeg. John Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
As Joe McGrath.
Yeah. Slam dunk.
Perfect.
Oh, how about that? Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Do you believe in sports curses? Mike White, who's supposed to be the next big thing with the Jets, goes down in the first quarter, but they're saying there's got to be a curse on the Jets. And our question to you, the viewers, is do you believe in sports curses? Can't make up my mind whether I believe in them or not. Because on one hand, I say the harder you work, the luckier you get. But on the other hand, I'm very spiritual and believe there's a plan and all the rest, so I don't know.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It absolutely is the RP Show. Good morning, Canada. Canadian sports fans around the world, welcome inside the RP Show. We welcome our American viewers that are tuning in for the hockey talk. I love it. They said they were going to be watching this morning because of the very exciting night on night 3 of the Stanley Cup Playoffs. I've opened the text line. I see it's full. Wango! You can reach us over the next 2 hours, 902-518-3033. We're broadcasting live from the Stage Bar at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination, and we welcome to the program, you might know his face, the Moose, the old Moose Knuckle, Darren DuPont. How you doing, Moose?
Good morning.
Hey, good. You went to the dentist this morning?
Yeah.
And you're still all smiles.
Still all smiles. It's good. No freezing, no work done. We're good.
Oh, good stuff. Are you ready to have some fun?
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate you running around here because just before we went to air, the speakers were blasting. Who sings Shattered Dreams, Lee? You would, the 80s, Shattered Dreams, Shattered Dreams. Sorry to put you on the spot, but that was blaring. Not that I don't like the song, but it was like
a little distracting.
It was like a Kiss concert again in here. So what did you do? You went and flagged somebody down?
Yeah, and I know how to work an audio board, too. I just didn't want to go in there without some authorization.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I just needed some supervision.
Yeah, so if you see that the environs behind me are a little different, we're not entirely set up, but that doesn't matter because we're ready to go.
You know how that is in the casino. We tried walking between the tables, right? And you
don't do that. Don't do that.
So I didn't want to walk into the sound booth without any authorization.
They'll take you to the ground if you walk in the pit. Look at me and my casino lingo, right?
Good.
And now, of course, as usual, I find these things out the hard way. Anyways, I didn't have my book ready to go, but I'm ready now. Cheryl Bernard is with us, and or will be with us later on in the program, and a lady that needs no introduction, really, but I'm going to introduce her anyways. She is a Canadian curler from Calgary, Alberta. Represented Canada at the 2010 Winter Olympics as the team skip, winning the silver medal. Her first major tournament win came at the 2009 Canadian Olympic Curling Trials in Edmonton, Alberta. Cheryl Bernard, a star, CBC commentator, Cheryl Bernard will be with us later on, but we're ready to talk hockey. Can you hit the quick six show horn, please, Director Jordan, if that is your thing? I mentioned night 3 in the Stanley Cup Playoffs was amazing, and it was. And I got a story here. I'll start with a game. Victor Hedman had a goal and 3 assists for his first 4-point playoff game, and the Tampa Bay Lightning beat the Toronto Maple Leafs 5-3 in Scotiabank Arena to even the first-round series. Nikita Kucherov added a goal and 2 assists, and Braden Point, Corey Perry, and Brandon Hagel also scored for the 2-time Stanley Cup champions, defending. And Andrei Vasilevsky made 31 saves in a bounce-back performance after the Lightning dropped the opener 5-0. Did you watch SportsCenter this morning or last night?
Yeah.
See what Duthie said about the Lightning?
Not Duthie, no.
Death, taxes, and Victor Hedman. I believe that's the saying.
Yeah.
They're now 15-0 in bounce-back games, or Vazzy is anyways. Mitch Marner had a goal and an assist for Toronto. Michael Bunting and Alexander Kerfoot for the Leafs, and Jack Campbell made 29 saves. I feel like that wasn't even the most interesting game of the night, but I'll allow it to talk. And last night I was hosting the Recovery Hour. It's a show about recovery, mental health, addiction recovery, and so forth. So on this stage, just in that back room over there. So I didn't see the start of the game.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, all I kept hearing over these loudspeakers at Grey Eagle was the I'm like, no, the Leafs are laying the boots to them. It was just those late goals.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I didn't know that the Lightning had jumped out to a 4-1 lead because they don't blow the horn for when the visiting team scores.
Right.
You know, all I kept hearing was the horn.
Yeah. And I
don't want the Leafs to win.
It was a couple of late goals, but
right.
It was the late goal for Victor Hedman with what, 2 seconds left.
Yes, I saw that one.
That was huge. I mean, that changed the game for them too and got them going. And Vasilevsky was awesome. And they were a lot more crisp. And the Leafs played well, had a lot of great chances, didn't score. We're in the and Tampa's penalty or power play got going tonight too. So it's going to be a series.
You're so excited, you're tripping over your tongue.
We knew it was going to be a series, and it's going to be a series.
Here's my thing. I don't want the Leafs to win because their fans are annoying now, and they haven't won in 55 years. Can you imagine what you will be like if you win the Stanley Cup? So I feel a little more comfortable that they're going to Tampa 1-1. But that's not... I saw what you tweeted about. Maybe we need to start paying attention to the Carolina-Boston series. Sebastian Aho and Nino Niederreiter each scored twice, and Carolina overcame the early loss of goalie Antti Ranta to beat Boston 5-2 for a 2-0 series lead. Ranta was knocked out of the game by Boston's David Pastrnak. So if you see the coach of the Bruins, Bruce Cassidy, after the game, he's like, it's David Pastrnak. Come on. Right? He's not known for that. That's the coach of the Bruins. Then you see what Brindy said? You said you watch SportsCenter, so what he's like, Coach Brindamore, do you think the Bruins are targeting your goalies? The disgust in his eyes. He didn't even need to say anything, but he goes, what do you think? It's pretty obvious. Yeah. And Pastrnak punched him in the head. But it's not his fault that Ranta has a very low pain tolerance. Think about this. These guys take 100-mile-an-hour pucks to the head and act like nothing happened. But he gets punched with a gloved fist, and he's got to leave the game.
I know.
It's not necessarily about the injury, but come on. It was downgraded from 5 minutes to 2 minutes. This is more of an anti-Ranta problem than it is anybody else, and at least Carolina won the game.
Yeah, at least they won. I mean, it was wild. I was following Wade Minter's social media, and he said he ran
announcer of the Hurricane.
He's the public address announcer. He ran out of room on his penalty sheet, on his score sheet, and he was moving on to full cap.
I love those games.
Like, unreal. And on that, like, if Ranta was fine, he would have stayed in the game. I mean, I'm sure he was his bell rung and maybe the concussion thing. But you're right. They take big slap shots to the head. Maybe getting hit with the glove's different.
To be honest, I may take a Twitter break, if you can believe, because I saw some guy saying last night, only 385,000 people in America watched Game 2, Boston. So what? Because I saw 1.5 million watch the Penguins and the Rangers on ESPN, the most for a first-round series since 1994. So let's just watch the games and enjoy it. The one thing I will say is, what is the NHL going to do, George Paris and whoever's handing out the suspensions these days, when these brouhahas keep happening?
Yeah.
Because you saw what Sutter said the other night about the secondary fight breaking out, Klingberg and Rasmus Anderson here. He's like, well, I don't have a problem with it. It's the playoffs.
Yeah.
Does George Paris have the same outlook, do you think?
Well, it happened in Toronto, happened in Calgary, happened in Carolina. It's starting to happen more and more and more, right? So
Yeah.
if it becomes a trend, it'll have to be something that they look at if they want to get this out of the game or if they want to keep it.
And let's be honest, what everybody wants to talk about is what you're paying attention to. Dun, da, da. We did need to do the ceremonial raising of the Oilers jersey. Can we get the camera on this guy?
I feel like we might need some theme music.
Maybe even a full shot. Dun, da, da, dun, da, dun, da, da, dun, da, da. Everybody wants to know where. There you go. How about that?
There it is.
Mike Smith bounced back with a 30-save shutout, and the Edmonton Oilers blanked the LA Kings 6-0 in Game 2 of their first-round series. Connor McDavid contributed a pair of assists for the Oilers. Series is now 1-1. Mike Smith, who made the fatal puck-handling mistake that led to Edmonton's 4-3 loss in Game 1, collected the 5th playoff shutout of his career.
LFG.
So let's spend a minute on that. Right, LFG. Because now they're saying Oilers in 5. This is what I've discerned from being in Calgary for 3 months. It's on my commentary today if you want to go listen to it in Cat Country or Rock 98.5 or read it at rodpedersen.com. In Calgary, they're paying as much attention to the Oilers as they are to the Flames. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're actually cheering for the Oilers because they want the Oilers in round 2. There's more talk about the Oilers series, from what I'm gathering. I don't know. I would assume you talking to the same people as me, as their own series. And in Edmonton, they don't think about Calgary. They don't talk about Calgary. They don't care about Calgary. They're worried about the LA Kings. Do you know what I mean? But they are cheering for Edmonton for now in Calgary because they want this matchup to happen. So, honestly, my gut, which is never wrong, tells me that was the slump buster game. That was the bubble burster. 6-0. They may not lose a game.
They may not, the way they played last night. There was a stretch. I don't know if it was the first period or end of the first, into the second, but LA controlled that game for a good chunk early. And Mike Smith and that defensive core with Darnell Nurse, they weathered the storm, and they were getting outshot, and they flipped it, right? And they got a couple of key saves, and when they flipped it, they never looked back. LA didn't have a chance the rest of the way, and they kept filling the net, and Edmonton looked really good. They play like that, they're going to win a lot of hockey games this spring.
Yeah, and LA just couldn't stand up to them.
They couldn't. Physically, too. I mean, with Cassian. I mean, McDavid was very aggressive last night. He was playing physical. I mean, he took the penalty, but he continued to play with an edge. They're a heavy team, and, LA couldn't play that game.
Before we move on, let's join the chat. Brian Dodge is watching, the mayor of Dodge City, Florida. He writes that he says, "Death, taxes, Victor Hedman. My new tattoo."
That's pretty good.
Tampa has woken up. And I saw what Biz Nasty tweeted at the
Leafs.
Did you tell the folks about that?
The Leafs tweeted, "Tampa scored." And Biz Nasty retweeted, "Time to pull out the sniffers. The sniffing
For the
salts.
boys.
For the boys. Wakey, wakey."
They didn't pull out the sniffers until the third period for the Leafs, and by then it was too late.
Yeah.
So I feel like Tampa rolls from here. Jennifer from the Four Seasons says that looks so much better now with a smiling emoji, the big teeth. It does look good. Jason in Red Deer watching, he says, "I just threw up in my mouth a little bit." The Oilers won. They earned it. And if the Flames win tonight, we'll have the ceremony for the Flames jersey.
Yeah.
I feel like we've stumbled upon something here. Randy from the Peg writes in, he says the Sveshnikov hit was awesome. Oh, I saw that. Very similar to, you older people remind me, it was Wendell Clark coming around the net against the Blues, and I think it was Robert Dirk he hit. Wango! It was in all the Don Cherry videos.
Yeah.
This was coming along the right wing, and Lindholm.
Yeah.
They got from whack. You know those hits that you take from your ankles to your shoulders, just when your guts shift? I'm sure football players have that feeling too, but I never played football. And Lindholm tried to get up, and it was a hit of the night.
It was. It was
It's different. The playoffs are different.
It is different. We're starting to see that. Every player, McDavid's doing it, Matthews is doing it. They're playing physical, and we don't see that every game during the regular season. And then these hits over the middle, and they're letting it go, and it's great. We're not seeing big fights after these hard hits because power plays are costly, and it was a clean hit.
Yeah. Oh, it was absolutely clean. I don't think there was any penalty on from a scorer.
Yeah.
Svechnikov. Good for him. It just shows you they're going after the Stanley Cup. It means a lot. John Massey, I'll allow it. I've called him a troll in the past. Big Oiler fan watching from Edmonton. He writes in the chat. He says, good morning, Rod. Your favorite Oilers fan here. Curious about your thoughts on Mike Smith's Goliath Game 2 performance. I thought it was good. I thought the whole team played well. Who was telling me the other day, they said the Oilers need to play like their net's empty. They need to, do you know what I mean? Don't allow any shots on goal. That's how they need to play with Mike Smith in goal. And I wouldn't say they played that way last night. He made some nice saves. You saw that one that just creaked behind him in the first period that had them all real worried. The thing about Mike Smith is he's every shot's an adventure, right? And I don't think you can win a Stanley Cup like that. And to be honest, these are the things I think about when I'm staring at the ceiling of my room here at the lovely Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. I'm like, Marc-Andre Fleury made a gaffe that cost him his time in Vegas, right? They got rid of him because of him mishandling the puck in Game 3 of the conference final last year. But I thought he's won 3 Stanley Cups. I still think Vegas was a little hasty on gassing him for that. But I know how Kelly McCrimmon operates. You screw up, off with your head. And I just wonder if, in retrospect, it was a mistake to get rid of Fleury, so I wonder if McCrimmon, there. I don't know. Big gaffe.
Right.
We'll find out this summer when I think they're going to go back after Fleury. You know what I'm saying? Mike Smith's a different story than the Flower.
Yeah.
Flower's going to the Hall of Fame. Mike Smith might be going to the Hall of Shame.
Right, for the moves, for those plays. Now, he didn't panic when that one got right behind him. They cleared it out. He was settled down the rest of the way. But did you see Scott Oak asking him about the gaffe in Game 1 afterwards?
No,
in the post game, they had the headset on him, and he says, "Scott, you're really going to ask me about that?"
Did he say that?
And Scott goes, "Well, yeah, I have to." And then he answered it really well, said thank you. It was really good after that. But I thought it was going to get really tense there for a second.
Listen, I don't think Mike Smith is the most popular player in the Edmonton Oilers dressing room. That's just the sense that I get. And I've said, you know that. You don't go to every game like I go to every game. And you and I go to games for different reasons. I go to the games to talk to people. Anybody can watch the game on television. And I learned a lot about Mike Smith. I told you that I've learned why he's not a Flame anymore. It's not going to be made public. They're not saying it. Why would I say it? But I do remember games where Mike Smith, would blow a bad goal and gun his defenseman. You could see it. That's not a team guy. And with Kelly Rudy the other day, Kelly Rudy's taken a few shots at Mike Smith. Not that what he said the other day was wrong. He goes, he needs to go apologize to his teammate. But Kelly Rudy doesn't seem to be a Mike Smith fan. So anyway, we need to break. I'll finish up what else happened last night. The Minnesota Wild evened up their first-round series with the Blues at a game each with a 6-2 romp. We need to pause. We'll be back and continue the rest of the warm-up. Blue Jays, NFL coverage, tonight's NHL games, what's going on in juniors. We got a lot to get to. Shoot, we haven't even hit point 2. Blue Jays beat the Yankees last night. You're watching on Game Plus television across all 10 provinces and 31 states, live on YouTube, streaming, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Number 16.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Game day in Calgary, looking at the Saddle Dome, 8 p.m. Mountain. Daryl Sutter doesn't like those late starts, frankly, nor do I, but that's okay. His team seemed to have enough gas in the tank to beat Dallas in Game 1 Tuesday, 1-0. Game 2 tonight again, 8 p.m. Mountain in the Saddle Dome. So, yeah, Moose is with me. We've already had the Oiler jersey ceremony, and everybody... See how I told you it's becoming a thing?
It is.
Just in time for us to leave Grey Eagle on Saturday, but we'll be back.
You got to take those with you.
And I also think that the Flames will still be playing when we come back. There's a little when we come back. And I've been chatting with the Flames. They agree.
Yeah.
By the way, Jeff Foxworthy, the largest selling comedy recording artist in history. Did you know that?
I did not.
A multiple Grammy Award nominee and best-selling author of more than 26 books, brings his brand new The Good Old Days tour to Calgary on May 28th. Tickets on sale at Ticketmaster.ca. Not going to be here for that show. Do you know how bad I'd love to see Jeff Foxworthy? Would you?
Of course.
Yeah?
Like to the point where I'm thinking about coming back for it, but I don't think it's...
But we're going to be in Estevan.
Until 27th.
Yeah, for the Centennial Cup. Well, we got to stay for the playoffs.
Jeff Foxworthy, they could fly in, fly out.
My dad, who you never met, but you were at his funeral, and you said afterwards you felt like you knew him after.
Yeah.
Said, there was a time when being a redneck was a good thing. That's what my dad said. His neck might have been a little red. And by the way, it's Thursday, which means for the love of burritos, it's buy one, get one burrito half off at Taco Time every Thursday. We're going to have a meeting today, Lee. What do you say, Taco Time? Yeah, let's do it, I think. The CEO over there, or COO, we're convening for a meeting. It'll be at Taco Time. I'll get to all your comments in a moment. as many as I can, but point 2 of my quick 6 show topics was the New York Yankees double-digit win streak came to an end. The Yanks had won 11 straight before Yusei Kikuchi allowed 1 run in a season-high 6 innings of the Blue Jays' 2-1 victory over New York and Toronto last night. Vladdy singled home the go-ahead run in the 3rd, and Matt Chapman added a solo homer, but that's the Blue Jays' first series loss of the year. Those damn Yankees, they're going to be a pain all year.
I know. And it's always been the case. They've been so good, but now the Jays are ready to be number 1, and the Yankees are good. It's
just when we're at the top of the cycle, they're up there.
But did you see was it Aaron Boone? You see the manager, right?
Yeah.
You see him going after the ump?
Oh, yeah, of course.
And the ump giving it back just as much?
I know. Well, the night before was the Blue Jays doing it, so... Yeah. Complaining about officiating is not really something I have time for. I know everybody else wants to, but... And there's going to be mistakes. They're human.
I was thinking about that last night, and I was going to tweet something along those lines about winners and losers. And the winning mentality is we need to stay out of the penalty box. The losing mentality is they need to stop calling penalties.
Somebody else's fault.
Right? It's not the ref's fault.
Just the NBA playoffs, I'm just going to mention it. Chris Paul scored 28 points, including 14 in another spectacular fourth quarter to lead the Phoenix Suns over the Dallas Mavericks 129-109 for a 2-0 lead in the Western Conference semifinals. You people watching in Arizona tell me if I'm correct in saying the Suns are still the number 1 franchise in the Valley. Because in most NFL markets, the NFL team is the number 1 team. But I want to say in Phoenix, the Suns are number 1. They were the first pro team there. And because of that, I think the most loved. Cardinals a pretty big deal. And we're not even going to mention the Coyotes. But, you know what?
That's the sense I got down there.
That the Suns are number 1?
It's the Suns.
Yeah.
Maybe the Cardinals, the Sun Devils and the Wildcats, and then the Coyotes.
I'll stop for a second and read a couple of the comments in the chat because that's what we do. We are interactive sports TV. Finn, watching in Winnipeg, says, hello, good morning. After 11-plus years as GM and not accomplishing anything, why is Kevin Cheveldayoff still with Winnipeg Jets? Because Kevin Cheveldayoff has built a perennial contender. What happened this year? Caught them all off guard. But the Winnipeg Jets are perennially in the mix, which is hard to do in the National Hockey League, particularly in that market when everybody knows their young stars tend to not want to re-sign there. And they sour on it. Patrick Laine gone. Scheifele will be gone. It's a unique market. Cheveldayoff has done a tremendous job in the face of a lot of obstacles. And owners don't want to change coaches. They don't want to change general managers. The roof fell in Winnipeg. They're doing their independent review as to why, but it ain't Chevy's fault. He's done a great job. He's a great person, a great hockey man. They don't want to fire him because he's done a good job. Point, counterpoint. I'm not shocked by that at all.
I'm not either. I mean, I guess I am a little bit. Here's where I'm shocked is because it's the Paul Maurice thing. The same reason that he decided to leave. He said he was pushing the buttons, right? And he was getting the most out of them. But every time you continue to push the buttons, it has a little less impact. Every year, the message doesn't hit home the same. And so with Chevy, same thing, right? The longer you continue to go down and build a team, if you can't get over the hump, maybe it's just needs a fresh set of eyes, a fresh face. But on the flip side, you can't just flip over all your people all the time. You have to work through it, put your knuckles in the dirt a little bit. And Chevy's had a contender. If this year turns into a 2 or 3 year thing, then he won't last the contract. But he needs to be given another chance.
Not surprised Chevy's going to stay in Winnipeg, and I applaud it. John Kirby in Edmonton says, what are your thoughts on Gary Bettman talking about the new arena in Calgary? Bettman was here the other night. I don't know how I missed him. I have no idea how I missed him. But I guess he came down on the elevator and turned to Glenn Campbell, the Rhinestone Cowboy, good friend of mine from CTV Calgary, and said, you guys need a new arena. Glenn tweeted that, and it's gone viral. It's not. Everybody knows they need a new arena. It's the oldest rink in the NHL. Next. Literally, next. There was breaking news today from Hockey Canada. Moncton and Halifax have been awarded the 2023 World Juniors. That's this upcoming Christmas and New Year's World Juniors. People wondered our thoughts on that. I say bravo, Moncton and Halifax. Fantastic venues. Well, for sure, Moncton, man. You got to see that play. Remember I told you I talked my way into that place?
Yeah.
Pretended I was doing a delivery. I'll say it right now. Obviously, I didn't have any nefarious goals, but I was there for Touchdown Atlantic, and I was walking down Main Street in Moncton, whatever you people call it. Like, this rink is stellar. I need to find a way to get in there. So I grabbed some takeout from a restaurant and what? And I was like, Uber Eats. Come on in. Is that bad?
No, because you probably could have got there if you probably could have got in if you would have just said, I just want to look inside. But I
wanted the challenge of it.
I think it's funny. Yeah, no, for sure. And that's cool. Maybe it's a place it's got to be on the bucket list to check out. I've never been.
Well, so, hey, Saskatoon put in the bid. Did Regina end up being part of that or not?
Yeah, oh yeah. They were part of it.
And we didn't get it. Can't cry over spilt milk. Moncton and Halifax are grand towns. They'll do a great job. So that news came down this morning, and thank you, Jamie in Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia, for notifying us of it. Junior hockey playoffs. I did write this down. Here's what happened last night. Here in Alberta, Brooks beat... where the hell is it? Brooks beat Spruce Grove 4-3. Bandits go up 3-1. So it looks like they're going to be in Estevan for the Centennial Cup, and we'll be there broadcasting live. That's for Alberta Junior League. In the MJ, Dauphin beat Steinbach 5-2 to tie up the series 2-2. How about that? And then Friday night at Affinity Place in Estevan, it's Game 7. Now, I want to ask you this too. Is it bad that I was cheering for Flin Flon to win Game 6 the other night at Whitney Forum? Because a lot of my friends are like, how can you... I thought you were a Bruins guy. It's more hockey. I'm literally looking at it. Right. I'm looking at it this way from a financial thing. $2,500 will go into Affinity Place Friday night at $25 a ticket. That's $62,500, maybe more. It's probably a $100,000 night. You throw in concessions and everything, it's a six-figure night to host Game 7. You're going to the Centennial Cup anyways.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was from a business thinking, I'm like, yeah, I want this to go 7. And they did not in Estevan, just so you know. They were not interested in hosting Game 7. They wanted to lock it down the other night, and they didn't.
Of course. Yeah, they want to lock it down. And, you know, this whole we want to win it on home ice thing or whatever. But did you see, I saw a tweet about the Moose Leg. Estevan went into Flin Flon. And in the 3 games in Flin Flon, got outscored something like 11-1 or 11-2. And it's like, you think there's a curse? Don't touch the Moose Leg in Flin Flon. The hockey gods don't like that.
Is that a thing?
It might be. Because Estevan guys went and picked it up. We put it on our Instagram. They went and picked it up and skated with it. And I thought the kid was going to die. I was worried about him. Like all the fans would have killed him. And he looked around, and just before he was about to take it off the ice, he chucked it back on the ice. He knew better.
So the thing is, the visiting team is not to touch the Moose Leg in Flin Flon. I didn't know. I knew there was a thing.
Yeah.
I did. And then if you do touch it, you'll never win another game. Don't. Did anybody tell them that?
They did go back to Estevan and won in Estevan, but they never had success in Flin Flon. So the only hope for Estevan is that it's in Estevan now.
Oh, my God.
I know.
It would be right down Estevan's... If they lose this series because of this, the jinx.
That would be a thing.
Well, everybody's going to be paying attention. SaskTel Max Television has the broadcast Friday night, 7 p.m., the same channel that carries Game Plus, or the same cable carrier that carries Game Plus. So anyways, is it bad that I was cheering for Flin Flon? I don't care. From a business standpoint, I was. By the way, promotional consideration for the RP show is brought to you in part by Tough Tribe for Men. It was designed to meet the unique demands of clean, professional grooming. The warm scent of a gentleman's shampoo teams up with an invigorating, cool peppermint conditioner. It really is life-changing. Top that off with a little beard and hair pomade to start your day feeling fresh and confident. Available today at toughtribeformen.com. That's the number 4 and Amazon Canada. I use it. You use it. That's why we look so good and smell so good. And I'm holding Darren to this. You people, join me in holding Darren to this. You're going to drop off in Medicine Hat Andrew Lux's prize package. It's about this big. You got to get his number. It's in the text line.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll text you, Andrew. We'll meet for a Starbucks in Medicine Hat and exchange the gear.
You would even go that far?
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking you just place it in the world's largest teepee and keep on
chuck it out the window on the way by.
Yeah. Well, if you're willing to do that, man, I love it. Lots of texts from yesterday. I'll just throw one in here on the CFL. We might come around on this a little later. Tomorrow is Football Friday for Flame Tech. Dave Dickinson, the head coach of the Calgary Stampeders, is coming down here tomorrow. So I'll save most of your football-related comments for tomorrow. And we'll go deep on football because that's what we do. But he writes in on the text line out of Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. He says, I suggested on a few different CFL posts the CFL should stage the draft during Grey Cup week. In the Grey Cup host city, all the fans from different clubs are there enjoying the festivities. Why not use this opportunity to focus on the future stars of the league? Possibly, but I would like to see them do it during Mark's CFL week, which I've attended every one they've ever had. They've had 2 in Regina and in Winnipeg, and they were great. Because they had the combine there. I think you could rejig it and have a draft and really make it something, but nobody asks me.
That makes the most sense.
Moose, here's just one quick one on NFL coverage. This is what they're saying in Indy, that Matt Ryan is Peyton Manning 2.0. Story came to me from USA Today. Everything about him. Reggie Wayne's their receivers coach, who we all know what he did with Peyton. He goes, this guy is so much like Peyton Manning, Matt Ryan, makes me want to throw up. Do you think Matt Ryan leads the Colts to prominence, to a Super Bowl?
He has the ability. He has the skill set to do it. Is he too old? I don't think so. Reggie Wayne would know. Reggie Wayne,
They won a Super Bowl
Marvin Harrison, and Peyton Manning haunt my dreams.
We need to take a break. If you can just, I got a quick sports update. The Montreal Alliance announced Thursday morning that European center Gaios Skordilos has signed a contract with the expansion team of the Canadian Elite Basketball League. The 32-year-old currently plays in the Greek A1 Basketball League. It's all Greek to me, Darren. He plays for Thessaloniki in Greece, but in 16 games this season, he's averaging 17.9 minutes, 7.2 points, and 5.2 rebounds. Skordilos also played at the FIBA European Cup. CEBL tipping off in weeks. How about this one? The Gatorade Team of the Week for Week 4 in the Canadian Premier League is headlined by Calgary Cavalry goaltender Marco Carducci. He was the story of Week 4. He marked his return to action with a brilliant performance in Cavalry's home opener Sunday, 2-0 over Pacific FC. The 25-year-old had 4 saves, including a worldie on Marco Bustos. Cavalry home to Edmonton Friday night. How about that? This sports update brought to you by Ballers Rec Room. Check out our brand new line of games for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Cheryl Bernard joining us at the Stage Bar when we return. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus television network, YouTube live streaming. And if you missed any part of the show, you can always catch the podcast wherever the best podcasts are found, including Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM-certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Number 16.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Game day in Calgary, 8 p.m. Mountain tonight on Sportsnet and CBC. The Flames and the Stars. Game 2, Calgary is a 1-0 lead over the Dallas Stars. And we've been talking hockey so far, and maybe we'll continue to talk hockey. We'll see. Cheryl Bernard joins us, a woman that needs no introduction. One thing that I just learned, though, Cheryl, Olympic silver medalist, of course, and household name, President and CEO of the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame. That's a cool job.
That's an amazing job. It's you're showcasing some of the very best athletes in our country, and then you're also showcasing what they've done beyond sport. And for us, it's a pretty amazing day job and night job.
Yeah, well, President and CEO is never a relaxing job, that's for sure. But I got to ask you, I saw a guy the other night going into the Saddle Dome for Game 1, a young dude, probably 25, with a Flames jersey. He had Daryl Sutter. He had tape across his back with Daryl Sutter on the back written. That's how much they love Daryl here. Isn't he something?
He's amazing. I really did wonder when they brought him back. I thought, a
little gruff.
Yeah, and then what he's done, I couldn't say anything better about what he's done with this team, how this team responds to him, the success we've had. I mean, I've been here and been a Flames fan all my life, and so I was able to go to Game 1, which was so much fun to see, and just congratulations to being able to do that and transform a team like that in our city.
Well, and the cool thing is, so she was born in Grand Prairie. You moved here at 3. The excitement, you've been here through then 89, 04. Do you get the sense that it's coming? Are we there yet, or it's getting there?
It's coming. I see us in the final for sure. We're in the final, and then it's sport and anything can happen, but this just seems like a different team, and I watched that game the other night, and they were comfortable with a close game. They were comfortable with a 1-point lead, 1-0, and I was getting a little nervous in the third period, but they held on and went to the defense, and they maintained it. And I hope for this city, and I hope the Flames don't hear this, but I hope for this city. Everybody's riding on this after 2 years of the pandemic, and to have this success, I think we all need it and want it so badly.
Oh, for sure. You can just feel it. People are just ready to let loose. Yeah. The only thing is, we brought you here to talk curling, not hockey.
Oh,
so,
okay.
No, that's my bad. But it's just, they're cheering for the Oilers in Calgary because they want a second-round meeting. Do you get that sense?
Oh, yes. I would love an Edmonton. Alberta battle would be amazing for this city.
Yeah, I don't think that, I'm not sure they could handle it, this city. But no, it was so I'll switch from one ice sport to another. When you're watching as a competitor that you are, Do you think about the close games and stuff? How were you in close games? Clearly you're a champion, so it didn't scare you off.
Yeah, I think you really, as an athlete, just immerse yourself in what you're doing, and you don't think, if you are thinking about how close the game is or what the score is, you got problems. It's, so it's really that mental strength and stamina that you have the ability to just focus on what you need to do and not think of outcome and not think about what the score is and not think what if I miss this shot. So, it's an art, and I think teams in all sports, players now, they work really hard to be able to kind of control that focus because it's what's required now in order to compete at the highest level.
Well, for 2 years, I honestly, during the pandemic, I was really worried how we as a sports community in this country were going to make it out of it. And they're all, like I was watching the bubble here in Calgary for the curlers, it just seemed horrible.
Yes.
And I knew some of the competitors, and they said it was horrible.
It was horrible for the broadcasters, too.
That, too.
It's not healthy. It's not the
Mentally
way...
Mentally or physically?
Mentally, physically, to be locked in rooms. And I think a lot of these teams, they'll go play a game, say the Briar or the Scotties at the Bubble. They'll go play a game, and then they go out maybe to the Patch or they go to a restaurant just to get a little bit of that release. But instead, they had to go back to their rooms, sit in a room, get up the next day and play all over again. And you could just see some of the players that needed that outlet were really struggling. It was a tough haul for a lot of them.
I assume you were at the Briar in Lethbridge. Did you go down there?
This year?
Yeah.
No, I didn't go. I did the trials, Olympic trials, and the Scotties this year.
Well, the trials looked fun in Saskatoon.
My favorite event every 4 years.
Well, of course, when you won it, so that's that's cool too. But
yeah, it is.
I mean, it wasn't full up there, and what was the deal there? Talk about that experience, if you don't mind, in Saskatoon.
The Olympic trials?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just every 4 years and the pressure. You can see the way the teams react so differently compared to a Briar or a Scotties because it's once every 4 years. Are they going to get to an Olympics ever in their lifetime? For some players, it's the end of their career, and this is their one last chance to maybe get on that Olympic stage. So it's just a different atmosphere. I mean, the Briar and the Scotties, everybody's elevated. They want to win a Canadian championship. There's no question. But the trials is just that one step higher. People aren't joking around as much with each other. There's a little bit more. They're tense. They're tense and they're worried.
Interesting you say that. And we have a couple. Well, because I was watching it very closely because of personal friends. Team Dunstone had a dreadful week. Team Botcher didn't do too well either.
Nope.
And these weren't guys that you expected would struggle.
Yes. You tend to see that, though. You'll see some teams who have the ability, and I remember us in 2009. I mean, we were probably ranked 4th going into those trials in 2009. But I think that gave us the ability to kind of fly under the radar for a while, get settled in. It's sort of the favorites or where there's a lot of media on these teams that I think they struggle going into it and they start to focus on outcome again. And that's always a death to any athlete or any team. So, it's having that ability to go in and not really think about what we're playing for and try. It's important. It's the biggest games you'll ever play, but you have to somehow be able to put that in the back seat and just play the game that you know how to do. It's the same rocks, it's the same competitors, and it's the same crowds typically. So it's just a lot of mental strength.
For sure. I'm watching the clock closely because I could go on about this forever. And I will say that, but so the Olympics then, because you've been in the Scotties, the national Scotties, like if the trials are pressure, what's the actual Olympics like?
Yeah,
it's got to be insane.
It's a completely different animal.
Yeah,
it's and the problem is you have no experience unless you've gone to a second Olympics, which most don't. You have no experience as to what you're going to expect because it's not like a world championship or a Briar. It's just its own beast, and you really have to rely then on kind of your family and your bigger team, your coaching team around you, your support system. Our curling association, they bring in a lot of experienced people. And then you just have to have a really good perspective that, in the end, and I truly believe this allowed our team to stand on the podium in 2010, is that we're going to go home to some great people, family, lives. We got great jobs. Win or lose here, we're going to be pretty good people. And I think that really allowed us to go out there and just play freely. And we ended up with a chance at the gold and ended up with the silver.
Which is pretty cool, too.
Yeah, it took me a while to be okay with that.
Because you're a competitor.
Yeah, it was a tough loss. We had, it was in my hand to win that game, and I had a chance. And it was a double takeout that you'll make 80% of the time, and we just missed it by millimeters. And So that took a long time for me to be okay with the silver, but I think I've got there now, and I look back on it and it's pretty cool.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Champion broadcaster Cheryl Bernard with us here at Grey Eagle. We'll be right back. We'll take some of your questions and comments too as we roll into a Taco Time viewer takeover right after this. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube live streaming, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM-certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of fun. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Those are brand new banners on the front of the Saddle Dome you're looking at, and the playoff hashtag is Fire It Up in Calgary. Game 2 tonight, Flames and Stars, 8 p.m. on the CBC. By the way, a note on Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. The Beach Boys are coming on my brother's birthday, July 28th. Catch the West Coast beach vibes with one of the most influential rock and roll bands of all time, the Beach Boys. Dance and sing along to the best hits of the iconic band for one night only, July 28th at the Grey Eagle Event Center. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.ca. How do I know that not that many tickets are left? people are asking me for freebies, and I can't get them. Can't get you Flames tickets either. So you can buy them, Ticketmaster.ca. Cheryl Bernard is with us, Olympic silver medalist, president and CEO of the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame. You're laughing over there. You know the feeling, right? Right?
I am laughing because I did go online the other day to look at what it would cost to buy Flames tickets. I was offline very quickly.
Well, in Edmonton, they're saying $700. What are they here?
That's what, $764 for
and they're
decent.
selling out.
Good. I'm glad. It's awesome. So well
We
deserved.
just won't be buying them. Yeah.
No, I'll be watching. But 8 p.m. games, that's good. I can sit down on my couch and cheer the Flames on very well from there.
Well, like I say, I was worried about sports in the pandemic and how we'd make it out. The NHL's just fine. Yeah. And speaking of, by the way, with the curling, they got out of the bubble. The NMAX Center in Lethbridge was full. I say SaskTel Center in Saskatoon had decent enough crowds, right? So is COVID behind the curling world?
It is. I think, they made it through that. I thought Curling Canada, kudos to them for what they were able to put on. WinSport, huge congratulations to WinSport for hosting that bubble. Tourism Calgary for putting it all together. Like, our city came together to say, we can do this. We can put these events on. Let's not cancel them. And so Curling Canada, to make it through that and allow to put on a Brier and a Scotties and a Worlds and mixed doubles events, it was incredible to see.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I was asking you in the break about retiring in 2014, and you said it was time. But this Alberta women's curling scene, and men's for that matter, it is a shark tank. It's hard to get out of this province.
It's very hard. It was always hard. Although it kind of over the years would shift between Saskatchewan, they'd have a run, and you never could beat Saskatchewan. And then Manitoba would have a whole deep field in it, and hard to get out of there. And Alberta is the same way now. And I think it's going to be tough for the next few years. We've got some great teams coming up from behind that a lot of people don't know about yet. But once they break through, then now we've got some depth again.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think, I think there's a somewhat rhetorical question, but why do you think these super teams are being formed? It's the talk of curling right now. Jennifer Jones' rink's broken up. My guy Ben Hebert's joined Team Boccia, which I never thought would happen. It's wild.
It's because I think of really the last few years and where Canada has ended up in the Worlds and the Olympics, sometimes not on the podium. And so people are looking, what are we running into? We're running into countries like Sweden and Switzerland that they dedicate one single team to represent their country. So all their resources go to that team. That team's full-time job. They don't do any other jobs. They curl full-time, 8 hours a day, they spiel. We don't have that in Canada because we have so much depth, which I love. But the problem is you've got players that they can't make a full-time living at this sport. Ben Hebert's a great point. Kevin Cooey, they work. They have other jobs. So, and I think we're starting to see where that's impacting us because these other teams that are solely focused, these other countries, are starting to beat Canada. And we used to always, it was expected we walked away with a gold or a silver medal. And now we're walking away a lot of times without anything, empty-handed. So I think you're just seeing teams say, how do we do it differently? Do we combine instead of spreading it thin, each of the teams with talent? What about coming together? It doesn't matter if it's 4 skips, and you see it with Carrie Anerson's team. That's 4 skips that made the commitment to play the position that they were. They could all skip easily. And
seems to have worked out okay.
It's worked really well. 3 Canadian championships.
All right, Cheryl, I appreciate it. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rod.
Champion broadcaster Cheryl Bernard. Hour 2 is coming up from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino as we'll talk Stanley Cup Playoffs. We'll get into all of these points that we did not in Hour 1. You're watching on Game Plus TV, live streaming, of course, at YouTube, and always catch the podcast at Apple, Stitcher, or Spotify.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Hey, Rod Squad. Now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show. Official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games.
Play among legends at betregal.net.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Do you believe in sports curses? Mike White, who's supposed to be the next big thing with the Jets, goes down in the first quarter, but they're saying there's got to be a curse on the Jets. And our question to you, the viewers, is do you believe in sports curses? Can't make up my mind whether I believe in them or not. Because on one hand, I say the harder you work, the luckier you get. But on the other hand, I'm very spiritual and believe there's a plan and all the rest, so I don't know.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It absolutely is. Welcome to Hour 2, everybody. Broadcasting live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, specifically the Stage Bar. It's Calgary's entertainment destination. And we're having a fantastic time on episode number 750. That's a bit of a watermark number. Episode 750 of your favorite daytime sports. Right. Daytime sports entertainment talk show coming at you on Game Plus television. So I say hey to all the Canadian sports fans and the Americans that are watching down south on Game Plus or YouTube Live. Hey, big night last night in the Stanley Cup Playoffs. Tampa won big time in Toronto. They've evened that series up at 1-1. The Oilers, we had the big ceremony in Hour 1. As a matter of fact, put the camera on our guest, if you don't mind, guys. Cheryl Bernard is with us. Olympian, champion, broadcaster. You see that Oilers jersey over your shoulder there, Cheryl? We have a little thing. The Oilers or the Flames, depending on who wins, get displayed on the stage. So we had a ceremony last hour. Oilers won. How are you on the Oilers?
I'm having trouble sitting beside that jersey.
Is that right?
I'm a true Flames
She's
fan.
a Calgary girl, Cheryl Bernard. So we've had a lot of fun here. And the president and CEO of the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame, Cheryl's been gracious enough to stick with us here for the first segment of Hour 2. And we talked about the Flames last hour with her. The Flames are home tonight to the Stars, 8 p.m. They're looking to go up 2 games to none. And there's a lot of questions that have come in for Cheryl. And this role of president and CEO of Canadian Sports Hall of Fame is no small job. That's why I'm so happy that you stuck with us for a little bit. It's a big week for you.
It is.
Or next week, or
Next week, so May 12th is the day that we reveal the class of 2022 in the morning at a big national media conference. So we reveal who that class is going to be. And then that evening in Calgary, we have a celebration called The Power of a Story. And it's an education fundraiser, effectively, for all our education programs. But we have the class come in that evening. They tell some incredible stories about sport, and we celebrate what sport means in the city and what these incredible inductees have done for our country.
Are you the person that gets to make the call to the inductees to tell them?
No, you know what? I don't have a lot. We have a massive 16-person selection committee. They're national across this country, sports historians, media, and it's a lot of work, and they spend hours and hours. We had 284 nominations they had to go through this year, and we only inducted a class of 10. It's a tough job. I wouldn't want it, but every year I say, this is the best class I've ever seen, and this is the best class I've ever seen.
Wow, I can't wait. But the thing is, we're going to be gone from Calgary, but you said Lee Genier, you don't mind if he reps us?
Nope,
at your
not
event?
at all. I already invited Lee. Lee's coming.
Good. Fantastic. Cool. So there are some questions relating to curling, and that, for one, Jeff, the Stamps fan, writes in and says, did I hear Dave Dickinson's on tomorrow? You did. Dave Dickinson, the coach of the Stamps, will be here tomorrow at Grey Eagle. Jeff also wants to know, is it true that the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame is leaving Calgary?
Absolutely not. Canada Sports Hall of Fame is dedicated to the city, but we have gone through a bit of a reimagining. We've realized that the location we have is just not the high traffic location it needs to be, and so our next move will be downtown Calgary, some kind of a physical location down there. But at this time, what we're doing is focusing a lot on all of our programs being beyond our walls. So we're reaching into communities with exhibits down at the Calgary Tower. We're doing education programs that are reaching across this country into classrooms. We're doing our recognition programs. We're doing off-site exhibits that we set up in communities across this country, and traveling exhibits. So we're actually reaching more Canadians now than we ever before with the build it and they will come concept. I think you have to be more engaging, tell more stories, elevate these Hall of Famers and the lessons that they've learned through sport, and we're doing that through all of our pillars.
I love it. Good for you.
It's pretty amazing.
They certainly have the right person in your role. From Andrew Stute, a Quebecer that now lives in Saskatchewan, writes in, he says, I heard a lot about Cheryl when I was lucky enough to work for Ernie Richardson. She's a very inspirational lady. Would love to meet her someday. Bonjour, Cheryl. The Richardsons.
Wow, the Richardson family, incredible family, incredible. I was fortunate enough to have been able to spend time with them. That is Canadian royalty in sport, curling sport.
The best, all of them, the best. You could tell stories. I could tell stories all day about them.
Most I can't tell.
Actually. Oh, I know. Well, I'll tell you this. The last time the trials, I believe it was when the trials were in Regina, Sammy was speaking, some curling event, and he broke down crying at the podium, and he said, this is my last public speaking event. So you're very lucky to be in the room because this is my last time. Sorry, everybody's crying in the room, and I walked up to Sammy, I put my hand on his back, and said, Sammy, tell me it's not true. I can't believe you're never going to speak again. He goes, well, I might.
That is Sam Richardson.
Exactly, and I believe he did go on to do several more. John in Edmonton, I'm not sure this is the question for you. I'm going to put it to you anyways. He says, why has Edmonton not hosted a big curling tournament in the last several years?
It's interesting because cities bid. I get asked that question a lot about Calgary. Cities bid for it. They have to put up some pretty decent dollars to bid for these events. The last big event that I remember in Edmonton, massive event, was probably the 2009 Olympic trials. It's been a while. But now I think with their new venue, maybe they'll bid for more. But it seems like curling events are going to just a bit smaller size towns. You may not the big capital Edmontons and Calgarys. Mm-hmm. It's going to smaller. Lethbridge hosted the Briar this year.
And they filled the place.
They did.
And it's rocking.
I did.
I am listening to you. I'm trying to find a specific comment. Somebody had asked what the future was. Ryan NH on YouTube says, what does Cheryl think about curling and youth players? Are we positioned well for the future?
I'm a bit concerned in that area because I think, really what's happened is a lot of the younger players aren't able to play in the provincials. They they're running up against the professionals now. So a young team to go into our Alberta Provincials is going to have to play Botcher, and they're going to have to play Cooey. And so a lot of these teams, I think, don't enter. A lot of teams don't want to put that big entry fee up because they know they're not going to get through. But the experience is so valuable. And I've been saying for years, I think that our country needs to create a web.com effectively. So kind of that younger tier program in curling where they play against each other, and then you bring maybe the top 5 teams up into the professional tour, and so now you have a feeder system that starts to build it. I think we're getting there. Curling's gone through so many transitions in the last few years, and I think we're starting to see that we're going to have to work really hard on the grassroots to build that up so we don't lose kids.
Well, it's cool that Ben was here, as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, and he said that you guys as a curling community are looking at yourselves as to what needs to be done better, because it's not sitting well that Canada's not holding the worlds right now.
No.
Was the sense that I got from Ben.
I love that Ben said that, because we're responsible. It's not just our association. We're responsible as role models. We're responsible as ambassadors for the game, and I think that's really, top shelf to look at it that way.
John in Edmonton says specifically the 2017 World Men's Curling Championship. 2017 was the last one, but it was at the old arena, Rexall Place.
Right.
So, but I mean, there's competition for these events. I get it. It's a big country with a lot of venues.
There is. And we went to a Briar in Kingston. I'm thinking that was probably 3 years ago. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Those areas, I think, don't have as many opportunities for other events, so they fill those buildings to the rafters, and it's fun.
Speaking of, there is breaking news today from the world of hockey that Moncton and Halifax, a joint bid, have been awarded the 2023 World Junior Hockey Championship. And the reason people are talking about that specifically is Regina and Saskatoon put in a bid. I believe Ottawa did as well. Yeah. But Moncton and Halifax got it, and congratulations to them. I can tell you, I'm pretty sure that we're going to be in Edmonton in August with this show, broadcasting from the World Juniors, the 2022, the delayed World Juniors. Finn, watching in Winnipeg, says, thank you, Rod and Cheryl, for getting to Ryan's question. Very insightful response. Now, as a broadcaster, this is, in the time we have left, you got to tell me some good broadcasting stories. Of all my friends that have gone from being on the field of play into the booth, they all have their own story. A great example is Paul LaPolice. Are you a CFL fan?
Yes.
Lapo's he's like family to me. And I said, what was the biggest thing for you, Lapo? And he goes, having to be critical.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to criticize my friends.
No.
But they were making me.
Yeah, there's a balance there, right? I had a real tough time with that, to be honest, because I remember playing and hearing the criticism from the broadcasters when I was out on the ice. And some of it stings. And, I'm always a little bit careful because curlers, in my opinion, they're not being paid millions and millions of dollars. And there's families and wives and girlfriends at home, and there's mothers and fathers, and I think they're doing their best out there. I will always show another option or talk about another option because I think that's what the fans need to hear at home. Criticize, I'm probably not that person. I've made enough mistakes in my career at the game, so I just want to show the fans at home that there's some other options. They could maybe look at this, but at this point in this time, you make the best decisions as a player on the ice, and I think we need to support that.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem to be your way the more that I get to know you.
No.
But then you look at a guy like Russ Howard, as good a guy as you're going to find. He doesn't mind criticizing.
Nope. So we play off really well with each other because it's a good, balance that I can point out the options. Russ will say, I probably wouldn't do that. So it's a good, you each have your own personality in the booth. It's not something it's trained. It's really who you are and what your personality is like. And the chemistry between the three of us is pretty unique too.
Yeah. What do you like about it?
I asked when I first took that job, I asked TSN, is there training? Like, you guys are asking me to come do this. And they said, nope, just come. We're going to do the Continental Cup in Canmore and just come. So I did one event and then they asked me back for another event. And finally I said, if I'm going to keep doing this, is there some training? And they said, we don't train people in this role because it really comes down to chemistry between the three of you, and we can't train chemistry. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And there's really nothing we can do to train the chemistry to be better or worse. So in the end, it worked really well, and the chemistry was there, and I was really fortunate to work with two really great professionals and some fun people, and so it's been a great ride.
Well, plus they want you to just be you and sort of do it your own way. Like Joe McCusker is another friend of mine, right? And she's done a great job.
she does it her own way. And I love Joan's way, and it's not my way. And Joan's not doing it the way I do it either. I think you have to be you. Not everybody's going to like you. That's the hardest thing you have to get to understand in that role. And I'm good with it now. It took me a bit, is not everybody's going to like your style. And that's okay, because if everybody did, then you're probably not being your true self on there anyway. So you have to live with criticism, and people don't like that you criticize one of their kids on the ice, or that you, didn't agree with a call. But that's my role in there, and the people I'm responsible for is to Russ sitting on one side of me and Vic sitting on the other, and the broadcast station.
Mm-hmm. But you would say, I would hope or agree, that curling is in tremendous shape in this country right now?
I think curling
feels like it
is fantastic. I think it's doing really well.
Yeah, well, the reason I bring that up is the more you get the curlers out there and doing interviews like this, I think does help. Like I told you about Rachel Holman, meeting her, and I was afraid to meet her. I thought she might bite my head off, and then I find out she's the coolest girl in the league.
It's
right?
I don't think people get... The one thing with curling, though, that's unique is you get to hear Ben Hebert or Cheryl Bernard or Kevin Cooey talk for 2.5 hours in a game. And you honestly get to know their personality, because as players, you forget you have the mic on. So you do actually get to know people, unlike football or unlike hockey, where you're not getting that intimate back and forth. So I do think curlers have the advantage of gaining some really great fans because of who they are on the ice, what they are as a teammate, how they are as leaders, and I think that's a really cool part of our game.
Yeah, it is. And just my last thing, when you mentioned the bubble and how tough it was, when it was here, did you have in and out privileges, or did you have, because you live here, or did you have to stay in the bubble the whole time?
I could see my house from the hotel, and I couldn't go to it for 3 months. Yeah, it was not a good time.
Well, you don't know. And what's cool, clearly I could go on all day with you, but Tommy Wheeldon Jr.
Yes.
Another exceptionally cool cat. He came down here and left that scarf the other day. He said the bubble for the CPL was in Charlottetown, PEI, and he goes, we could see the ocean. And we couldn't go participate in the ocean.
I couldn't
It'd be
get
so
to it.
Painful.
It was hard.
Yeah.
It was really hard. And even walking around the hotel, it was a chain link fence around it. So all we could do is walk around and around the hotel.
Like a jail almost.
Yeah, it was interesting. Very interesting. Last time for me doing that.
Well, like we say, hopefully we learned something from it, and I think we all did. Cheryl, thanks so much. This has been a blast. Keep in touch.
Thanks, Rod.
Cheryl Bernard, the president and CEO of the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame, curling champion, broadcaster. The Moose will join us next, and we'll get to a sports update, taco time, viewer takeover, and more. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus television network, available all across BC and Alberta on TELUS Optic TV, channel 924. Also, YouTube Live and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games.
Play among legends at betregal.net.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
It is the RP Show. And by the way, the Calgary Flames host the Dallas Stars at the Saddle Dome for Game 2 of their Stanley Cup first-round series tonight. Flames won the opener 1-0 on Tuesday with Elias Lindholm notching the only goal and Jacob Markstrom stopping just 16 shots for the shutout. I'm just going to launch into the sports update here right now. Elsewhere in the NHL tonight, the Pittsburgh Penguins are at MSG, looking to build on their triple overtime win in the series opener. The Washington Capitals can take a 2-0 series lead on the Panthers with a win in Florida, and the Nashville Predators trail the Avalanche 1-0 as they play Game 2 in Denver. Fresh off a 2-1 win over the Yankees at Rogers Center that snapped New York's 11-game win streak, the Toronto Blue Jays visit Cleveland for a 4-game series with the Guardians. The Jays will send Jose Barrios to the mound against Cleveland's Aaron Civale. Brooklyn Nets say Ben Simmons will have surgery today to alleviate pain in his back caused by a herniated disc. The number 1 pick in the 2016 draft didn't play in Philly after requesting a trade, citing mental health concerns. After he was dealt to Brooklyn in February for James Harden, he was bothered by the back while trying to rebuild his conditioning. The sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number 1 source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis. Visit today. dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors, including the new almond mocha. RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. From the chat, from Ryan H., great chemistry between Rod and Cheryl today. What a great conversation this has been. From Randy in Winnipeg, gotta love the RP guests. The best. She's a friend of Lee's. Got to thank him. It's a team effort, of course. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says the Olympic Saddledome is the place to be tonight. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Okay, Moose. We have Darren Moose DuPont here as well. And they're loving the Oilers jersey over your shoulder. The Oilers won.
Yeah.
That ceremony was fun last hour. I feel like we should add some candles or something.
I know. Some music?
Music, yeah.
We could, the boys could drop the angel music when we do that, in the future, when we put the jersey up. But I feel like, the big ceremony the jersey needs to be walked out. But it's okay. We can evolve the ceremony. It's okay. There you go.
This, the greatest job in the world. Because my homework and me getting ready for the show is to watch sports highlights and read articles and talk to people in the sports industry. And I got to say this about Florida. I'll be very, very upset if the Panthers lose this series. I don't know what's going to happen tonight in Game 2.
A lot of pressure.
But, of course, there's pressure on everybody, but the comeback Cats which you folks know I've been on their train since September. Training camp, I was there in Sunrise and going to preseason games. And now here we are. Follow this best season in Panthers history. President's Trophy winners, which I would never even want the President's Trophy, by the way. Wouldn't want it. It's a kiss of death. They were up 2-1 going to the third period the other night. The comeback Cats, and they took their eye off the puck. I said, this comeback thing's going to bite them in the ass in the playoffs. They were so proud of that. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I wonder, for me, before that series started, we didn't know if Ovechkin was going to play. We didn't know if Ekblad was going to play. They both played game 1. They'll both play game 2. But for me, where's the pressure on Barkov and Huberdeau in the game?
Where were they?
Because in Toronto, Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner have shown up and are playing. In Edmonton, McDavid and Draisaitl have shown up and are playing. Calgary, we don't know if Gaudreau and Tkachuk are going to fill the net. They had trouble scoring in game 1, but I think they'll be fine. So the Stars have pressure on them, right? And in Florida, it's those two. They got to step up tonight.
They're getting paid a lot of money.
That's right.
Between the two of them. But the thing is, you're up 2-1 at home, going to the third in a playoff opener. You need to lock it down. I don't even put that on Sergei Bobrovsky, on Bob. I don't. So, yeah, I'm not going to the Flames game tonight. We're going to watch a doubleheader here.
Yeah.
I see that the Panthers Capitals on Sportsnet 360, Flames Stars on CBC. Do you have a doubleheader in you?
Of course.
Yes.
And I will let you know, I don't know if you know this, we have a correspondent going to the game tonight. We have a correspondent.
Well, you wouldn't want to tell me.
I'm just texting with him right now. So
who is it?
Our boy Justin Dunk is in town. He's going to the game, and so we will have content from inside the Scotiabank Saddledome tonight.
From Tacona in Winnipeg says, keep the faith, Rod. Cats got this. Well, and I saw, was it Sam Bennett? I think it was Sam Bennett. One of them said, hey, we're not worried. We know that we're a good team. I would suggest that they are infinitely the better team. I mean, we're going into the playoffs. Our playoff bracket, I wrote it down, our pool is being led by Ryan Marushak. Do you know Shaq? He's a hockey scout from Saskatoon. When I was filling out those boxes, they had both Capitals goalies in there, which tells me that nobody knew who was even going to play in goal for Washington. And I went with Samsonov, or is it Varlamov? I don't even know. Neither one of them played. It was the guy that starts with a V. Single ticket to an NHL playoff game. That's what I paid for a garden shed. That's pretty good.
Some people get decisions to make.
Priorities, right? Lee's saying that's cheap. I don't. Who are these people buying these tickets? Which, we haven't spent much time on the Arizona Coyotes for obvious reasons. They're the worst team in the NHL, but it came up again the other day, the $14,000 season ticket the Coyotes are selling when they move into the new rink. I don't have a problem with it. I don't think it's that out of line. You can ask for $1 million for a season ticket. If they get it, will somebody pay? Somebody will pay.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of rich guys in Arizona. A lot of shysters in Florida and a lot of rich guys in Arizona.
It's only 5,000 people who can go watch Connor McDavid when he comes to town. Or Sidney Crosby, who's still a big draw. Or Austin Matthews, who's probably the biggest draw in that market. So I think there's money there. And for season ticket holders, they're banking on there being money in the resale market, too. The people who are buying those season tickets. They're banking on, there's going to be a lot of demand. So when Matthews comes in, I can take the cheapest season ticket, which is like $80 a game, which is kind of high. Well, it's very high for us. The cheapest in the building. And I can flip that for $150 or $200 a ticket or more because there's going to be so much demand. Now, if this is a complete disaster and they're not filling that barn, we're going to have some problems.
Well, it's funny that Gary Bettman comes into Calgary and says the other night, you guys need a new rink. So I didn't see the quote, but I could just imagine how dismissive he was with that comment, right?
Right.
Gary, why don't you focus on Phoenix and the shit show that is the Coyotes? Let's talk about that. At least this rink's full. At least this team won the division. Who wants to say that to Gary? Because I don't. He's my buddy.
Yeah, I'm not really that interested in that.
But you know what I mean? Stop it. By the way, Larry, you going to say something?
Well, the part of being a commissioner, though, is you can't forget about everything else and only focus on that. You got to kind of you're juggling everything all at the same time. So when he's in Calgary, Calgary needs a new arena.
Oh, I feel like the whole city of Calgary collectively could say, yeah, we know.
What are you going to do about it, Gary?
Like this is news. Can we show you the football stadium? Larry Dye in Medicine Hat writes in, uh-oh, are we doing the comment of the week for Taco Time? I think we are, right?
We got the gift cards.
You got 2 people to see in Medicine Hat now.
I'm not doing 2 visits. You got to all come to the same place at the same time.
He says, Taco NHL playoff favorites. T for Toronto. A for Avalanche. C for Calgary. O for Oilers. You know what that's? Give me a T. Give me an A. Give me a C. Give me an O. What do we got?
What does it spell? Taco.
Come on. That be very Lee Genier worthy marketing right there.
All right.
So need to drop off some Tough Tribe and a gift card for Taco Time in Medicine Hat.
It looks like we're meeting at Taco Time now. And there's one conveniently right off the highway.
Right?
I've been.
I was actually in Moose Jaw the other day, and that seems to be a Taco Time mecca as well.
Well, it's what I've done on my drives. You know, I've driven that Highway 1 a lot. Now I've made a habit of stopping at every Taco Time on the way. So Medicine Hat, Swift Current, Moose Jaw.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Well, I don't want to get off topic because I see we got great viewership here, and I want to stay somewhat serious. I think they came here for serious talk. But what is a Taco Time cantina? I saw one the other day. Is there something special about the cantina? Does it serve alcohol? Does that make it a cantina? Does it have loungers?
Maybe got margaritas going. It is Cinco de Mayo today, right?
What? I thought Cinco de Mayo was always on a Tuesday.
I think it's always the 5th of May.
It is. That's an inside joke between Dan Plaster and I. We were in the WHL draft 15 years ago, and we were sitting in a bar with less than honorable intentions. And there was a big party going on, and Dan goes, I thought Cinco de Mayo was always on a Tuesday. It's Dan Plaster, broadcaster to the stars. John Ohm in Winnipeg writes in. He says taco jokes can be so corny that they get a bad rap.
Come on, guys. First the drum. We'll wait for it.
Or wah, wah,
there you
go. Larry in Medicine Hat has won the gift card for the week. Right out of the chute, coming in hot. Larry in Medicine Hat. Well, we've got our big guest out of the way, Cheryl Bernard, and Fridays will be Dave Dickinson right here at the Grey Eagle Stage Bar, so I'm very much looking forward to that. I'll be honest with you, that's something of a watershed day, and I thank the Stampeders for sending him down. But I want to talk about what the viewers are talking about, whatever you want to talk about. We are very popular in Winnipeg on Game Plus television out there, Bell MTS Cable, and I'm a little surprised. And I saw this on Sportsnet Connected this morning that Elliot Friedman saying the 2 coaching candidates he's heard to coach the Jets are Randy Carlyle and Scott Arniel. I know we dabbled in this yesterday, but I saw with my own 2 eyes his report. This would be a lot of unrest. There is a lot of unrest in Winnipeg.
Tons. What I read out of that, too, and kind of looked in, didn't look really deep into it, but what I kind of got from that is those aren't the final 2 or the 2 are going to get it, but those are the 2 that are catching Elliot's eye, and he's very intrigued by those 2 are the names he's hearing. I mean, as we know with the insiders and in that business, where there's smoke, there's often fire, and they don't just throw that around, right? I mean, there would be some substance there that those 2 are definitely getting some consideration, and that's interesting. You know, you got Chevy locked down now for 3 years, so that's taken care of. So now it's about finding the right coach that fits what he wants to do, and you know, Chevy will talk about what he thinks his team's going to do. He'll probably have ideas about Mark Scheifele and who's on board with that and what his plan is. And it looks like they're going to make some moves here.
I wouldn't hire either one. I mean, I don't know much about Scott Arniel. really a career assistant coach. He's never been a head coach, has he? I don't think. Was he head coach in Buffalo? Let me go to the big board.
Yeah.
Head coach in Buffalo at some point. Speaking of Winnipeg, I see that TSN is going to pick up the Moose games in the playoffs.
Great.
Our home games, anyways.
Okay.
I still like to see them pick up the ice games. Here's Scott Arniel from Kingston, Ontario. 730 NHL games with the Jets and Sabres. Coaching all... Oh, he's the head coach of the Chicago Wolves, 2013.
Yeah.
Head coach of the Columbus Blue Jackets, missed the playoffs both years in 2010 to 2012, but we won't put that on Scott Arniel.
Yeah, no.
But he was an assistant with the Rangers, the Capitals, and the Sabres. So, he was very well thought of there, but I just think that James Patrick would be my guy, but they're unhappy with Chevy getting a new deal, let alone who the next head coach is going to be.
I know.
You know?
Carlisle's been a head coach in the league and has had some success and, you know, has been around a while, so there's a little more credibility, I think, there. I think, if you're going to give a first-time head coach, I like the idea of James Patrick. But I also don't know with this group right now. They're not really, again, it's up to Chevy. We don't know what the plan is, but I don't think they're ready to blow it up. I think there's enough great pieces that still can win you Stanley Cups, whether you trade them for other pieces who can plug and play or you go with that group. Because you're trying to go for a cup and still contend, I don't know that you want to take a chance on a first-time head coach.
Well, yeah. Arniel, like I say, he did coach in Columbus as the head coach, didn't have any success there, but nobody has any success there, so we're not putting that on him.
So you almost count him as a first-time head coach, right? You kind of forget about those.
Didn't take long to get the Winnipeg people riled up. And this is what I wanted. I want the back and forth with the viewers. We'll talk about what you want to talk about. We can talk about anything. We're good that way.
Oh, yeah.
So a couple. Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg says Moose home games on TSN is good. Moose away games on TSN would have been better. Yeah, of course, but it's costs money, don't you know? Phyllis says I'm following both the Moose and Ice playoff runs. From John in Edmonton, he says viewership for the CFL draft is not good viewership. The NFL draft through the roof in Canada. What does the CFL have to do for the draft? I feel like we should talk more about that tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
When I was on CHML radio on, what night was it? Tuesday with Scott Boo Radley. He says, why is the CFL not a bigger thing? Why is it not like the NFL? I'm like, dude, I talked about that 3, 4, 5 years ago.
I know, and we only got 10 minutes in the segment. I mean, this is a 10-hour conversation.
Right. I said I've spent hours, days thinking about that, and I don't think about it anymore. Maybe we can talk about it when we come back. What do you got?
No, I was going to say, they did take a step forward with those. The draft parties look cool. The Philpots and stuff like that was
a lot of fun. I would have liked to have been at that.
Yeah, and I will tell you, that was likely in Delta, BC, where the guys are from.
So people in Delta.
No, for sure. But I kind of was thinking, my first thought was
that in Calgary?
I could have drove down the road and been at that party.
You would have gone down the road.
I would have been there in a heartbeat. And then I realized it was probably in BC.
Okay. Yeah. We're on to something. We'll pick it up when we come back. Whatever you want to talk about. We're in full-on viewer takeover, taco time, on board. There our daddy on a burrito full Thursday. Buy one, get one half off. It's the RP show from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino on Game Plus TV. YouTube live streaming and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital Ford. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital Ford Lincoln. Your adventure starts here.
Gotta shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pride. And big time, big time, big time, big time.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Game day in Calgary. Flames Stars getting after it. 8 p.m. Mountain in that place. The Scotiabank Saddledome. It is a viewer takeover. For the love of burritos, it's buy one, get one burrito half off at Taco Time every Thursday. That's today. Darren even learned something last Thursday at Taco Time. Member?
Oh, yeah.
You can get a soft meat and a crisp meat half off for the second. How do you not know that?
I didn't know that the crisp meat burrito was part of the, I guess it's a burrito. But, you know, it's so good and so different than anything else you've ever had.
Wow. So, from the viewers, there's so much to get into here. They really are interested, obviously, on the coach of the Jets situation. And then, where's this dude just wrote in the Winnipeg Detroit fan? Finn on YouTube says, a big Detroit Red Wings fan here. I would give Mike Babcock a second go-around with the team as the head coach. Not going to happen. He left once. You're the guy that says you can't go back. Can you imagine Babs back on? Who's the guy that went back besides Billy Martin? Who's the guy that went back? Daryl Sutter. Never mind. Stop. The exception that proved the rule. That didn't take you very long.
Talking about Detroit?
Anywhere. Yeah,
but
would
if
you
we went
take
back
Mike Babcock back if you were the Detroit Red Wings?
Yes. Yeah, I would.
Yeah? Well, and I'm a Babs fan, so I'm recusing myself from the conversation.
If you think that he's good for the young players that you've got in the room, and they got some really good young players in the room, the two that are up for the Calder, but Ken Holland's not there anymore. That was where the connection was. He left being like, I love this city, right, and love the people, and I think he left on good terms.
Yep.
I didn't think he slammed the door in their face. I think the door is absolutely open for him to go back to Detroit. That would be a great fit, actually.
Maybe we should shoot him a text.
He's probably watching the show. How do they know I'm going back to Detroit?
I'll talk to his buddies. I don't need to talk to Babs.
Oh, I bet the phone's ringing.
I can talk to his posse. They'll give me the goods. Which one of them called me the other day. Can I say that? I was going to put it in my column on the weekend, but I'll say it now. You hockey people, stop calling me when you hear something on the radio that you think the host is an idiot. Did you hear so-and-so say blah, blah? I said, if you don't like it, don't listen. I don't listen. I listen to Country 105, the greatest country music station, well, in Canada. I would say the greatest station in the world is KVET, Austin, Texas.
Okay.
Austin's Country Original, 98.5 KVET. But Country 105 is the best in Canada. I don't listen to the sports radio here. For my own reasons, but don't call me to bitch about some idiotic thing said by a guy that doesn't know what he's talking about on the radio.
Fair.
I don't have the time. So go back. I'm getting so off track here. On the draft party thing, Wayne in Victoria, BC writes in and he says, the answer to that question, Rod, is money. The NFL has it, the CFL does not. Easy. Well, we can't do this, we can't do that. This is why it won't work. This biggest reason why I'm not working in the sports business right now, one of them anyways, is the way sports has turned. And maybe I just had a bad experience. I'm not going to tell you who the Regina Pats president was because they've had a revolving door there. You'll never guess who it was. But years past, I don't even want to say the year. We had a player touted to go in the first round of the draft, a Regina Pats player. I was on the radio guy then. I was doing TV by then. I said, let's have a party at the Press Box Sports Bar. Round 1 is on TSN tonight on a Friday. Let's invite all our fans down. Wear your favorite Pats jersey for your favorite player. Let's just get everybody together and watch the draft. No, it won't work because of this, because of that. No, too much work. Blah, blah, blah. Well, screw it then. And then when TSN started doing the first couple rounds of the draft, because they've been doing that for quite some time, the Rough Riders had a draft party at the Canadian Brew House. And you know the one in the South End. It's the way we talk about it there in the sweatpants capital, the South End. Everybody with the team was up in this private area. You know where that is?
Yep.
And I'm there. I was working at the time, I was the voice of the team. Do you guys want to get off your ass and go and visit with people? Or at the very least, open up the private area so fans can come in? What's the point of having a party? You might as well have it in Jones's basement.
If we're going to be segregated from everybody.
You're not going to talk to any fans. So we'll throw our own parties. And that, I was like you. I saw on SportsCenter the highlight of the Philpott draft party. I'm like, that looked like a hell of a lot of fun. And now that you say that it was in Delta, BC, that makes sense. But does it take a lot of money, Wayne, in Victoria, to throw a draft party at a local bar? I don't think it takes any money.
It's free to reserve tables.
Just a little elbow grease and a little ingenuity. But for the most part, a lot of the teams don't want to do it anymore. And again, this is not a CFL-wide thing or WHL thing or NHL. But this has been my experience. They either don't want to do it or they don't want to do it what I would think properly, so why do it at all? Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg says, I, for one, would like it if RP took his talents to Portage Avenue and became the new play-by-play voice of the Winnipeg Jets. I couldn't afford the pay cut, Patrolman Pete. But thank you. That's very nice of him to say.
It's extremely nice.
Not interested. Not interested. Well, and Tacona in Winnipeg says if the CFL has money to do field changes, they got money for draft parties. I never thought about it that way, but what I did think was if they have the money to fly in all these players from around the world, global players that are never going to play it down, for real, they got money to throw a draft party. Field changes, too. They have the money.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all about bringing fans together.
Exactly.
That's the whole idea. That's how these brands were built, the teams. But and it's not all of them. But it's some of the teams just don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Too much work. When we come back, well, that one last thing. Lee and I at the soccer game the other day. I'm like, God, they don't have any programs. And I wish they would have programs. And Lee's like, nobody reads programs anymore. And I'm like, you sound just like the people in the office. Well, he was the people in the office. I look around he says everybody's on their phone. I said, no, they're not. I look around the stands at Echo Field. Everybody's on their phone with the rosters. So I guess I'm the Brontosaurus in the bunch.
Well, there's value in it too, right? So you have to figure out where the value is for the most amount of people, and
all that.
Yeah. But we do love picking up those souvenir programs when we go to the Super Bowl and different events like that. Like, that is awesome.
Absolutely. For sure, Taco Time viewer takeover when we come back. 902-518-3033. It's been quiet on the text line. If you're watching on Game Plus TV anywhere across Canada or the United States, fire us a text right now to make sure that it's working. 902-518-3033. There's the number on the screen. Viewer takeover is brought to you by Taco Time. We'll be right back on Game Plus, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Are you ready? It's finally time for your next adventure, and it starts at Capital GMC. Custom order the perfect new vehicle for you, or reserve one of the hundreds that's already built and on its way. Can't wait? Get into a GM-certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to rock. Plus, the American Export event is back and bigger than ever. We'll send your vehicle south, making you the most money for your trade. Guaranteed. Oh, and for a limited time, all name brand tires are employee priced. Only at Capital GMC. Your adventure starts here.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Hashtag fire it up. Game day, Stars, Flames, 8 p.m. Mountain in that place. The Scotiabank Saddledome. Every time I see the words, I think of Peter Marr. Every time, Moose.
Just sit and look at that. I mean, it gets me in the mood for game day. Like, it is game day. And I can't wait.
Oh, there's so much. We don't have enough time. Ryan in Saratoga, New York writes in and he says, I remember being at Adirondack Red Wings games scouting through my program trying to find a player autograph. That meant you won a prize package from the Red Wings. I remember. You had a comment about Victor Cui, the coolest president in pro sports, for sure, pro football.
Oh.
You said you had something about Vic?
I admire the honesty and how upfront he is, and he doesn't hide anything. And he was doing another Q&A on Twitter with the fans, and one of them asked about, are you going to bring back the game day programs and the souvenir collector cups and seat cushions? And he's like, we're looking into it, but it's not likely, not going to happen. And he's just being honest. You know, I think a lot of people would dance around. They'll be like, well, it's really great. We're looking into it. We'll work on it. And hopefully we'll be able to do something, knowing that they're not going to do it. He's just honest.
Fair. But what I would also like to say, then what are you going to do for the fans? That's what I would like to know.
And he was talking about all that too, but for sure. That's the other side of it.
Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, I used to love a nice glossy program. Didn't we all? But I don't know. Rod, you don't understand. You don't. You can put that on my tombstone. How many stories is that tombstone going to be? Rod never understood.
Your life insurance policy is not going to go to anybody else, just the tombstone.
For the cost, right?
Yeah.
Sell sponsorship on it.
Like, we've taken out a $10 million insurance policy on you. It's just going to build the tombstone.
Rod, we don't do yearly yearbooks anymore because it costs too much. You don't understand. They all go to the internet these days. It's all ball bearings these days because they're going to sit and go through the entire website and read the bios of every player and coach there. Maybe they do. I really don't.
Looking at the pictures is cool. I think you probably need a yearbook and then inserts every week, right?
They're not doing that either, dude.
No, I know. I know they're not.
Although, having said that,
the NFL teams are.
The NFL. But what does the NFL know, man?
Nothing.
Get out of the NFL. Bush League. The other day, I'm walking around the bowels of the Saddledome, and there was a guy carrying a stack of the programs. You've seen him.
Yeah.
That the lower bowl get. Well, the Flames do it, by the way. Incidentally, they do hand out programs at the Flames game. Or lineups, anyways. And I'm walking behind the guy, and I said, hey, can I trouble you for one of those lineups? Guy turns, looks at me. That's what I got him for. Pulls it out, hands me a couple for game one. Nice guy.
Yeah.
They've been really nice to us here in Calgary. Finn on YouTube says, any take on the CFL proposing a 10-year collective bargaining agreement to the players? I think that's asinine, totally ridiculous. I don't have a take on it. Just play. While you guys are fiddle-farting around, the world's moving. Without you. Pick it up. Smarten up. Get it done. From Phyllis. She says, that's not the same thing. The hard copies last a lot longer. I have lots of stuff from my younger years. It's just a different world. At some point, I'm starting to realize, Darren, it's just a different world.
Mm-hmm. It is.
You know? Tell what your mom said about Metro Pristai.
Oh, how the teams used to do it. So she was watching the Guy Lafleur funeral, the memorial service and everything, and how wonderful. And she's sending me Snapchats, knowing full well we would be on the air and I wouldn't get to watch it. So I probably watched the whole thing on Snapchat in 10-second increments. But she said she was in tears, and she was a huge hockey fan, and said how wonderful they did it and how the Canadians just did it so right. Had all the former players in there. It was so classy. And she said the sports teams, the good ones, the old ones, do it so right. She said Mitro Prestai, who had spent a lot of time in Wynyard, when he passed away and they had the funeral at the rink, both the Red Wings and the Blackhawks made sure they sent flowers and sent representatives to Wynyard to pay tribute to Mitro Prestai. He hadn't played for the team in how long, but they remembered, they know, and they just do things right.
When Lauren Davis passed away in the Queen City, the longtime scout of the Oilers had all their top chiefs were there. I want to say Kevin Lowe was there for sure. I think Tom Rennie, a lot of the business guys that you wouldn't know. And they would probably still do that. That wasn't that long ago. But that's the way the NHL did it for years. Mm-hmm. Specifically those franchises like Chicago, they got a shirt and tie, what do you call it, edict or mandate that you better not show up for work, not in a suit and tie, man.
Yeah.
Year round.
Well, it's just, and it doesn't mean everybody has to, the suit and tie is the only way, but it's the culture you build, right? And you got to have a good culture, whatever that means.
Randy in Winnipeg writes in and he says, great show, RP crew. Florida, big win tonight, 6-1. That's what he's calling. Sportsnet 360 has it in Canada. Paul in Winnipeg writes in and he says, Rocky Thompson, the next Jets coach. Maybe. I'm good friends with Rocky's agent. Rocky and I linked to a great WHL story from days gone by that I can't repeat here. Good times in Medicine Hat. It's a good town.
Oh, yeah. Which, by the way, I was sitting in the dentist chair looking up at the TV monitor watching Global. 19 degrees here in Calgary. It's going to be 27 today in Medicine Hat. So your cousin Christine can enjoy the sun.
Yeah, go out and get a tan, Chris. Something's going on. Brian Goldstrom in Withrow, Alberta. Oh, thanks for the text, the photo with the screenshot. I like when the viewers take screenshots, wherever they are. I like the one from Popeyes the other day. Popeyes chicken. They take a picture of us on the wall. And
that's an all-timer.
Isn't it? Brian in Withrow, Alberta says Canadian college football needs a guy like Victor Cui to get university sports on the social radar. It's going to take a generation for it to be successful. Dude, he's got his hands full with the CFL.
One at a time.
Forget about Canadian university football. Don, our Navy friend, says, no Winnipeg Jets, not into the playoffs this year. As I get older, my fandom is not at all like it was when I was 25 to 30. Tell you what, man, that's your call. You're really missing out, though. You do you. From Finn, very good answer. Fiddle farting. Love that answer, Rod. We're out of here. See you tomorrow. You screwed up, Clark.